Hi everybody, how are you? So we are here again to continue with the Note application using Quasar. Today we are going to implement the edit button. So let's come back to the code. And the idea is to use the same component, the add component that we are using in the add page for the edit page, because it has the same components and a lot of things that we are going to use exactly the same for the edit page. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to rename this file from add to editor. Okay, and let's edit here also editor, and let's change also the root here, the editor. Let's check if everything is working. Everything is working. Okay, let's come here, the edge is working. Okay, and now let's add a new path that we are going to use for the edit page. We are going to have an edit that we receive the node ID as parameter. Okay, and we need to add this parameter also here in the editor. We are going to need to add a props. That's the properties of my component. I'm going to add the node add ID property that has a type integer and required it is false because I don't have a ID for an add node. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is to come here in the index and let's add here this URL. Okay, so we are going to use a to property to set the URL that we are going to use is the dash edit dash. We are going to concat here the node.id. Okay, let's check if everything is working. So I think I have a problem here in the editor. I always forgot this comma. Let's come back. I think it's working, and if you put the mouse over the edit button, you can see that it has the URL for the edit page. Okay, so now if I click here in the edit, I'm going to be redirected. No, I'm not going to be redirected. Okay, integer is not defined. Maybe it is int. Let's check again. It's nothing inting, maybe just like that. Oh, it is not also int. Okay, maybe number. Yeah, I think it is number. Nice. Okay, so now we are redirected to the add page. Okay, but we doesn't have the values here. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go to use the mounted method, because let me copy just here and let me paste here. In the mounted, we need to check if we have something in the node ID. Okay, so is this dot node ID, and if we have something here, we need to set the node that we have here in data from the nodes DAO. Okay, we need to get instance, get instance, and get by ID. We need to get the node using the ID. Okay, and the ID is going to be this node ID, and else we need to set the node. We need to do nothing, okay, because the node was already set in here. We just need to replace the node with the node from database when the object was mounted, the component was mounted. So now we need to implement this method, okay, here in the DAO class. We need to create a get by ID method that is going to receive an ID and is going to return something from nodes dot let's check what we need to do now, because I wanna get something from ID. Get I think I need to use the where. Okay. Okay. So what I need to do is to filter using where. Oh, yeah, where here. And the where receives an object that's going to be my ID and ID. Okay. And before filter, after filter, I wanna get the first element. Okay, I think I can do here the first, because after those where I have a collection. After doing so I can call the first method. Okay, so I'm going to get the first result from the query from this collection. And now let's come back here in the editor. I forgot to do something, I need to set this using the dem method. Okay, so now let's come back here. Then let me check. I think is this way. Node receive node. Okay, let's check if everything is working. It is not working, so let's check what we have inside here. This node console.log. What we have inside node. This is not running. What we have in here inside the node. Undefined. This is strange. What is the problem with this? Edit the route, the node ID. Just give me a moment. I am going to check, and I am come back in just a few minutes. So everybody, I discovered what we need to do. We need to come here because we are here receiving this property in the route parameters, but the route parameters are not the same thing as the component properties. They are different things, so we need to get things from the route and pass these things into the props of my component. So what we need to do here is in this route path, we need to set this props function that we are going to receive the route parameter. Okay, and here inside this function we are going to declare the const props that is going to receive an object that are going to get everything from my route parameter, my route params. Okay, let me fix this. Okay, and here in this props we are going to set our nodes ID. Okay, or node ID. I think we can also simplify this for just ID because we know that we are working on a node. Okay, so we can set this, and we are going to do this to cast the value because we are receiving the value as a string. Here we have the value as a string in the header, so we need to cast and from ID. Okay, and now we can return the props. Let's save and let's check if it is working. It is not working. Nice thing, huh? This is very hard. Maybe because we are using ID. Let's check. Okay. Obviously, I forgot to change here in the editor the parameter name, that is ID and not .id anymore. So let's refresh the application. Oh, it is not working. And so, obviously, because I forgot to change also here all the reference that I have to node ID. Let's check now. Oh, it is working. Very great. So let's remove these console logs and let me check here. Now we have to work on the save method because the save method was created to save nodes that was not already saved in the database. So let's check what we need to do to the save method support and nodes that were already saved in the database. Okay, so let's now come back here to the Dexie documentation. In the table section we need to make have add. I think we need to do an update. Okay, so what we can do here, we can, when we have an ID inside the node, we know that this node was already saved in the database, so we can call the nodes, the db nodes dot update, and here we need to pass the node. We need to pass the node.id and everything that we wanna update. Okay, and here in the else we can do the add operation because we don't have the ID, so we are adding nodes. Let me fix this name and let's come back here in the editor. Let me change this case because the file now is called editor and not add. Okay, editor. Okay, and let's fix here editor. Let's check now if everything is working. Add a new node edited. Okay, and let's add this also here, and let's now press save and pray to everything working fine. Save it. Very great. So we can now edit nodes, we can add nodes, we can do everything. I think the application is now completed. Obviously, we can add new features, like we can maybe add colors to the nodes and save this color and make every node have a custom color. But I think there's everything for now. We can start in the next video to working on build this application for single page application, progressive web apps, Electron, and Android using Cordova. Okay, it is just that for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any doubt, please leave a comment, and bye bye.